Good morning. It's your lawyer's favorite lawyer, back again with Monday Motivation. I'm going to give the audience get edit. Try to keep my Monday Motivation under 15 minutes. Uh, so I promise you won't be here long, but I'm going to try to make it as strong as possible. Let's see. Give them about a minute and then we'll jump right into it. All right. Once again, it's your lawyer's favorite lawyer, Jimmy Morris, with your Monday Motivation. Uh, there's a few things that are on my mind. I through the week, most of the time I can't tell you what I'm going to talk about the following Monday, but usually while I'm in the course of doing something or talking to somebody, I get inspired by an idea. And this week was a little bit different because it actually happened in reverse. I went down my Facebook timeline when I got back in town, and I saw some of the most, how can I put this, pessimistic, petty posts. And I see people who all the time are talking about other people. And I think it's a security issue. They feel, bad about themselves, so they tear other people down to make themselves feel better. But I just, it's a sad thing when, every comment or post or thing that you do is negative. So, and it's not even about stuff that most adults would even care about. But I thought about it. I said, sometimes people are under the belief that where they are is where they have to stay. People are under the belief that where they start and in the community that they live in is where they have to stay. They're under the belief that they have to be exactly like their parents. So sometimes you see two and three generations of women who live in the same project because one generation didn't believe they could get out of that particular situation. You see one person working in the same factory that their dad worked in. I remember there was a story about a man who shined shoes, and he shined shoes, and he sent his son to college. And the guy was the best shoe shine man in a particular town, and uh, his son came back on summer break or spring break to work with him, and the guy shined shoes, and he popped a towel, and he do his hat, to make his customers happy and kind of excited. And so his son saw that, and after his first year of college, came back and helped him shine shoes in the summertime, and he did that little towel pop, and he tapped his, did his hat and whatnot like his dad, and his dad hauled off and hit him. He said, "Man, I didn't work this hard for this long for you to be like me." My point is, we have to get outside of where we think we ought to be. And we have to break the mindset of we have to stay where we are. You don't have to stay in a particular environment. whether that's where you live, whether that's where you work, whether it's where you go out and hang out, whether it's the friends you grew up with. You don't have to maintain that environment. Nobody judges how loyal you are to a silly environment. And people will be happy for you if you're successful. Now, let me say this. You say, what does that have to do with a pawn? A pawn is a chess piece. And this particular chess piece moves one direction, forward. It can kill or it can take another piece diagonally, but that's all it can do. But if that piece makes it 7 or 6 or 8 moves, I can't remember exactly which, it can become any piece on the board, including the most powerful piece. What that means is, with diligence and moving forward and a continuation of this particular mindset or idea, this pawn can become king or queen. So what this says to me is, no matter what your situation is, no matter where you start, no matter what the thing you put in front of you, you still can become what you want to be if you work at it. Most of us disguise our fear for patience. I'm afraid to try something, so I'm going to say I'm being patient till my time. Your time is never going to come sitting waiting on it. Your ship is never going to come all the way in to a freshwater port. Sometimes you got to go to the saltwater port. Sometimes you got to swim out to the boat. Sometimes you got to pull it in. But no matter what your situation is, you can become what you wish. Well, let me give you a few excuses that people say. My parents don't support me. So what? My man or woman acting up and they saying support me while I'm trying to build this business. So what? Man, I don't even know who my dad is. If my dad would just come and just talk to me and just tell me I would be all right. If I just had a little bit more money. Man, I don't have a fancy education. Let me tell you a few things. One, most millionaires in this country don't have college degrees. So for you, if you're waiting to become a millionaire by going to get a college degree, it's probably not going to happen. Your fancy education, that doesn't matter. If you have a good product, you can start with very little money. Or the money that you've been saving to retire, you can use that. Your man or your woman's not supportive. Okay, you made a decision to be with that man or that particular woman. So are you telling me that you're going to let your dream of what you plan to do in life fall because somebody who you liked for usually a dumb reason anyway is not supporting you? I mean, here's the deal. You're going to date someone who doesn't want you to work and doesn't want you to go to school, doesn't want you to better yourself. And you think that that's a productive situation for you. So what I'm trying to get you to understand here is that where you begin doesn't determine your outcome. If you believe in what the Bible says, it says make the tail the head, the last the first. You already know that it's set up for a person who didn't start big to finish strong. But all the stories we look at, you don't ever see a movie where a person was born a billionaire and then he became a billionaire and you say, oh, that's a great story. I mean, he overcame a lot. But you like the story where the person was born with nothing, built a computer in his garage, came up with Facebook in his dorm room. We like those kind of stories. So the question becomes this. If you are a pawn, if you are a weak piece on the board, are you going to be diligent enough to become strong, or are you going to just say, well, you know what? I was born a pawn. Don't let where you start indicate where you're going to end. Don't let the excuses that you think sound good determine where you're going to end. You make a decision that you're going to be a king, you're going to be a queen, you're going to be a bishop, you're going to be a knight, you're going to be a rook, and you go forward, and you don't look back, and you don't move backwards, and you don't sidestep unless you're taking another piece to get to your goal. And if you move forward 6, 7, 8 paces, you can become what you will. Thank you for listening. May God bless you. You have a good day. And once again, it's your lawyer's favorite lawyer. I look forward to seeing you on next week.